All right. Talking about chords, specifically inversions. So inversions are a way of rearranging a set of notes. The first chord that most people learn on guitar is something like this. It's the C and the G. It's the one, the root, the one, 2, 3, 4, 5, played at the same time. So you might see it described as like a C5 or a G5 or an F5 or a D5, right? You can move that shape around wherever you like. Most chords that people learn on the piano first look like this, right? They've got a third in the middle of them. That's the big distinguishment between a power chord and most of the other chords, is that there's a note in between the root and the fifth. Now, back to inversions. If we start with this G5, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what we call root position. The reason is because the root is the bottom of the chord. So it's in root position. Now, if I take this G and I move it up an octave, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I still have a G5 chord, but when the D is on the bottom, it sounds very unstable by comparison. Listen to how grounded this sounds, how unstable this sounds. Very different sounds, even though it's kind of the same notes. So that's the first inversion. There are as many positions of a chord as there are notes. So with this one, there are 2 notes. So there's the root position in the first inversion. Now, if we go to one of those 3-note chords, this is a C major chord, C, E, and G. There again, it's in root position because the letter name of the chord is on the bottom. But because there are 3 notes in this chord, there are 3 different positions. So here's the first position, root position. If we invert it once, take this C and move it up an octave, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We have the first inversion. It's called C over E. You might see it with a C/E. There's lots of ways to kind of talk about it, but that's the most common one. First inversion, where the third of the chord, and there again, that third is being measured from the root of the chord, 1, 2, 3, is on the bottom. If we invert it again, we take this E and move it up an octave. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. We have the second inversion, where G is on the bottom, C over G. There again, that's the fifth of the chord being measured from the root. C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, being on the bottom. And then if we invert it again, what ends up happening is G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We end up back in a root position chord, just an octave higher from where we started. So we started here. Right? So the last thing I think is just listen to how each of them have kind of different levels of stability, even though it's the same set of notes, root position. Very common sound. The first inversion with the third on the bottom. And then back home. Now, that said, you can do this with any set of notes. You can take this group of notes and put the C on top, and then put the F on top, put the G back on top. Or you can do it with notes or chords that have more than one or more than 3. Here's a C major 7 chord. Because it has 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4 unique notes, you can invert it, and it has the first inversion, the second inversion, and the third inversion before you get back, right? So this inversion idea can apply to almost anything. But yeah, there again, just the same ingredients, just shuffling them around, and it gives you different levels of stability, or maybe different hues of the same color. Yep, those are inversions. Have fun.